Building a rubric for self and peer guidance on feedback and debriefing. I am Clément Buléon, anesthesiologist, intensive care physician, and simulationist. On behalf of my co-author Damien Schultz, Robert Simon, Walter Eppich, Mary Fay, Janice Palaganas, and Jenny Rudolph, I am delighted to present you our abstract reporting the development of a Delphi method in an expert community of practice. Helping clinical faculty to master the core skills of feedback conversation and feedback in debriefing is critical to effective learning and assessment. Scarce expert faculty time to coach peers on feedback skills, ineffective peer feedback, and lack of precision on how to assess or improve micro skills of feedback conversation inhibit rapid skill building of these crucial skills. Using online peer feedback platforms to build peer feedback and feedback skills allows for direct and vicarious learning, builds norms of peer feedback, and promotes self-regulated learning by clarifying and applying a clear feedback standard. To study the feasibility and acceptability of a structured peer feedback rubric in guiding feedback skills building, we launch two complementary initiatives. First, using a Delphi method to develop a peer feedback and feedback rubric in an existing international faculty community of practice, and second, examining the usage pattern of peer feedback in hospital-based health professions picking it up. This abstract reports the Delphi study. Breaking feedback conversation down into constituent building blocks can support quick and robust skill building toward a standard. Based on 16 years of developing acute care and simulation faculty feedback and debriefing skills, we have crafted a multiple-use conversational molecule for feedback in debriefing conversation. The Delphi project developed a rubric to assess it. The goal was to have a rubric to facilitate rigorous peer guidance for in-person or distributed online communities of practice. We use the metaphor of a molecule to indicate that any complex conversation might be made up of numerous molecules for easy observation, assessment, or guidance. We drew on organizational behavior research on productive conversation to develop a molecule for conversation that benefit from explicit signposting of topics, sharing one's own perspective, learning other people's, and bridging those perspectives to support collaboration of learning. It includes 5 successive components: preview, observation, point of view, inquiry, and listening. Preview, signpost the topic of the conversation. Observation, describe concrete actions that were seen or statements that were heard. Point of view compares the feedback giver's observation to a given standard and describe the implication. Inquiry is an open-ended question and explores the colleagues' perspectives. And finally, listening, hearing, acknowledging, and inviting colleagues to share their perspective. This Delphi method study built a consensus-based behaviorally anchored rating scale, bars, to assess a core part of feedback and debriefing conversation. The bars supports teaching, learning, and assessing conversational skills based on the 5 elements of the advocacy inquiry molecule: aim, preview, observation, point of view, inquiry, and listen. Conduct in 4 anonymous survey rounds with research ethic approval, the study canvassed 39 experts from 14 countries who had been involved in simulation and taught feedback and debriefing for median min max 11, 5 to 24 and 7, 3 to 22 years, including the M. They were asked to, first round, describe good and poor behavior for each element of the molecule. Round 2, rate behaviors clumped into thematically similar descriptor by author according to their importance. Round 3, select the 6 most important, and round 4, classify them according to degree of difficulty to master from beginner to advanced. The Delphi study was designed and conducted by authors who were also co-participants in the study. This insider-outsider research approach leveraged the author's insider understanding of teaching, learning, and assessing the aim while also leveraging the outsider expert anonymous survey data and behavioral descriptors which were weighted according to their frequencies. Every conversational molecular element is rated with a 7-point scale from extremely ineffective 1 to extremely effective 7. Results. In round 1, investigators coded the 871 raw descriptors from expert into 118 like terms to provide the first set of good and poor descriptors for the 5M element. The richness and completeness of description for each element was homogeneous, with a mean of H7 plus minus 10, minimum 74, maximum 111, raw number of descriptors for good and poor behaviors. Round 2 ranked the descriptors, and round 3 selected 6 descriptors for each aim element. The bottom ranked items were discarded. Agreement on the descriptor to keep was height, 87 to 100 per descriptors. Agreement on ones to discard lower, 56 to 91 per descriptors. In round 4, descriptors described were categorized from beginner to advanced, higher score. We used the final descriptors and their ranking order to create the bars. You are looking at an example of bars for the aim element preview, which signposts the conversation topic. As you see, it goes from the left end extremely ineffective to right end extremely effective, with for those two extremes anchored descriptors designed to help feedback for teaching, learning, assessment, and self-assessment. Discussion. Patterns, caring, and efficient conversations to bridge within profession, cross-profession, and cross-hierarchy perspectives are crucial to learning in clinical contexts. The rubric we built through 4 rounds of a Delphi study could lower barriers to mastering a key constellation of feedback and debriefing conversation skills, the M. This rubric could be the bridge that allows peers to toggle between practicing feedback and providing feedback on feedback in a way that might strengthen 4 micro skills associated with self-regulated learning. 1. Developing a robust mental model of the desired standard. 2. The ability to identify common strengths and faults in the activity. 3. To envision ways to bridge the gaps from one's current ability to standards. And 4th, strengthening norms and tolerance from peer feedback. Thank you.